morning, Kansas City, and welcome to KCPS Homeroom Kids for Pre-K. I'm Miss Barnes, and this week we have an exciting week of lessons for you. Today we'll start by learning all about important African Americans in history. We'll start by learning about Garrett Morgan, the inventor of the stoplight. And then you'll get to make a craft that you can eat afterwards. With Mrs. Overish today, we're going to learn the value of numbers, and we're going to order numbers from 1 to 5. Stand up, scholars, and let's get ready to learn.
Hello and welcome back to class today. I am so glad you're here. I am Miss Bird, and we have an awesome activity that we're going to do today and a story to read. But first, we have to wake up our bodies and get ourselves ready for the day. Are you ready? Come on and join me. Let's stand up nice and tall. Let's roll our shoulders back. We got to loosen up our bodies so that we are ready. Let's go back, take our shoulders back. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Let's take it forward. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Awesome job. Okay, now bring your hands up over your head. Clasp them together nice and tight. And we're gonna stretch over to the side. Stretch with me. Stretch all the way over. Hold it right there. And let's count to 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Awesome. Bring it back up. And let's stretch to the other side. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Awesome job. Let's take our arms back down. Again. All right, let's take a deep breath in and let it out. Deep breath in and let it out. Let's take our arm over. Hold it there at the count of 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Awesome job. Switch, other arm. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Awesome job, friends. We are ready to get started with our activity today. Come on over and join me for our reading circle. We're going to be talking about Black history this week. Hello and welcome to our reading circle. I am so glad you're here. Like we mentioned, we are talking about Black history this week. Black History Month is so important. This is a time when we get to recognize all those people that have made contributions to our society, and without them we wouldn't have so many things. So today I have a story in this book, Little Legends, Exceptional Men in Black History, that I'm going to read to you. Today we are going to read about Garrett Morgan, who invented the stoplight. So think about it. What would it be like riding around if we did not have stoplights? Imagine all the accidents that would happen. So today we're going to find out what it was like for Garrett Morgan to invent the stoplight. Come on and join me. Garrett Morgan was an inventor. That means he invented things. Garrett was always interested in how things work. He had no schooling past grade school, but he didn't let that hold him back. By the age of 14, he had worked as a handyman, and by 18, he had taught himself enough to get jobs at sewing machine companies around Cleveland. In 1901, Garrett sold his first invention, a part for a sewing machine. And a few years later, he was able to open up his own shop. He soon became a successful businessman and inventor. In 1914, Garrett filed a patent for his next invention. After witnessing a fire, he noticed that the firefighters combated the blazes with no protection over their eyes or face. He thought that masks could shield the men and keep them from inhaling smoke. So he devised a safety hood that covered the face, using a hose to access fresh air from below. Many people were reluctant to buy inventions made by black men, so he often hired white actors to conduct demonstrations so customers would give his creations a chance. Eventually, his business grew, and fire departments in Ohio, Pennsylvania, and New York were using his hood. Garrett wasn't just an inventor and businessman, though. He was also a hero. After a tunnel explosion in 1916, Garrett, using his safety hood, rushed in to pull out workers. He saved 2 lives. In 1923, he filed a patent for his next invention. At that time, automobiles were on the rise and were sharing the road with horse-drawn carriages, bicycles, and pedestrians. Traffic signals went from stop to go with no notice, and it was dangerous. After Garrett witnessed a terrible crash, he had an idea for a warning signal. This was a precursor to the red, yellow, and green signals used today. Garrett paid attention to the world around him and looked for opportunities everywhere. He proved that inventing wasn't just about coming up with new ideas, but could also be about improving upon existing ideas, helping people, and making the world a safer place. Wow. So Garrett Morgan was a true inventor. Like he said, he didn't just invent new things. He looked at the things around him and found ways to improve them. So like with this stopping signal that they had back then, it was just a stop and go. There was no yellow light in between there. So people had to just stop at any time. So there were lots of accidents that happened. So he invented the stoplight so that it incorporated the yellow light so people would know when it was time to slow down before they stopped. So now we have a super cool activity we're gonna do. We are gonna make our own stoplight. But guess what? With this stoplight we're gonna make, we are gonna get to eat it after we're finished. How cool is that? Come on and join me for our activity. All right, as you can see, we have all of our ingredients here to make our edible stoplight. And remember, who invented the stoplight? It was Garrett Morgan. That's who thought about incorporating the red, yellow, and green to help us know when we stop, when we slow down, and when we go. So you need to make sure you have your peanut butter, a graham cracker, and your red, yellow, and green M&Ms for this activity. So the first thing we're gonna do is get some peanut butter on our spoon. Then we spread it out all over our graham cracker, all over. And then, remember with the stoplight, where should our lights go? They go in the middle. So we're gonna put our red M&M. Then what color goes next on our stoplight when you think about a stoplight? Our yellow M&M. And then we have our green M&M. So here you have your edible stoplight. So after you've done all that work making that stoplight, isn't it great that you get to eat this yummy graham cracker and peanut butter and M&Ms. Awesome job. I hope you enjoyed making this graham cracker stoplight. And remember, who invented the stoplight? It was Garrett Morgan. Thank you for making that with us. All right, friends, I hope you enjoyed our story today and making our stoplight. You can go and tell your parents or your adult that's with you who invented the stoplight. Remember to tell them that Garrett Morgan improved the stoplight. So, and then you get to enjoy that yummy stoplight. Thank you again for joining us, and I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.
Kindergarten is great at Kansas City Public Schools.
I know they have really good teachers. I know this is a great school.
They teach them stuff that I thought my kids would never be able to know at the age of 5.
Since deciding to send our kiddos to a neighborhood school, we've become even more of a part of our community.
Now is the time to enroll your future kindergartner for the new school year. Visit enrollkc.org today.
Hi, my name is Mrs. Overish, and I'm so glad you're here to learn with me today. Today, we are going to be talking about ordering numbers. Can you count to the number 5 with me? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Nice job. We're going to practice ordering our numbers 1 through 5 today. When we order our numbers, we put them from least to greatest or small to big. Let's get started. We're going to practice ordering our numbers 1 through 5. We already practiced counting to 5. When you count to 5, can you point to the numbers that you see and in the order that they go in? We know that the first number is 1. Can you find the number 1 on our board? Here's the number 1. We know that our number 1 comes first. When we're counting to 5, we have 1. What comes next? 2 comes next. 1, 2. Can you find the number 2? Here's the number 2. We now have 1, 2. What number comes next? That's right. 3 comes next. 1, 2, 3. When counting to 5, what comes after 3? 1, 2, 3. 4 comes after 3. Can you find the number 4? Here's our number 4. And we have 1 number left. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Can you find the number 5? Nice job. Now we have put our numbers 1 through 5 in order. When we count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, these numbers are in order of their value. The value is how much our number is worth. We can represent our value in different ways. We can represent our value by drawing dots or pictures on a piece of paper. We can also represent our value with things, items, manipulatives like blocks or little bears. Today we're going to find the value of all of our different numbers, 1 through 5, in both picture form and with our items that we have today. We want to make sure that we go in order, from least to greatest or small to big. So what number should we start with? That's right, we need to start with the number 1. Let's find our bears or our items first. Can you find the group of bears that only has one bear? One bear to represent our number 1. That's right, here's our one yellow bear. Next, we have the number 2. Can you find the group of bears that represent the number 2? 2 is one more than 1. We now have 2 bears to represent our number 2. 1 and then 1, 2. Next, when counting to 5, we have 1, 2, 3. Can you find the group of bears that has 3 bears? Can you find 3 bears? That's right, here's our group of 3 bears. 3 is one more than 2, so now we have 3 bears. When counting to 5, we have 1, 2, 3, 4. Can you find the group of bears where there's 4? Nice job. Here's 4 bears. 4 is one more than 3. 1, 2, 3, 4. And last, we need to find our group of bears that has 5. Can you find the group of 5 bears? Nice job. 5 is one more than 4. So we now have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. When putting our numbers in order, 1 through 5, we can see with our bears that each number is one more than the last. So when we started with 1 bear, 1 more bear makes 2, 1 more bear makes 3, 1 more bear makes 4, and 1 more bear makes 5. We can also order our numbers by using dots or pictures. So let's put our dots in order with our numbers. Can you find our first dot or first picture that we need to put? What number are we looking for? We're looking for the number 1. Can you find the picture with 1 dot? There's 1 dot. We have the number 1, 1 bear, 1 dot. What number are we looking for next? 2. 1, 2. We know that our dot picture is going to have one more than 1. So which picture shows 2 dots? 1 more than 1 shows 2 dots. This shows the number 2. Next, we're looking for the number 3. 1, 2, 3. 3 is one more than 2. Which one of these pictures shows 3 dots? That's right. 1, 2, 3. This is one more than 2. Next, we're looking for the number 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 is one more than 3. Which one of these pictures has 4 dots on it? 4 is one more than 3. Nice job. And our last number, our biggest number, our number with the highest value is the number 5. It's one more than 4. So we pull our picture with 5 dots. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Nice job. Can you ask a parent for a piece of paper and a pencil and a crayon or a marker, just something that you can write with? Now that we have our piece of paper, you can ask your parents to either draw a line down the middle, or you can fold your paper in half. And we're going to write our numbers 1 through 5 across the top. First, we're going to start with our first number, which is the number 1. Can everyone write the number 1 in the corner of their paper? Since we're writing the numbers in order, which number comes next? That's right, we're going to write the number 2. Can you take your pencil or marker or crayon and draw a number 2? Since we're drawing our numbers in order, we have the number 1, 2. So what number comes next? 3. Go ahead and draw the number 3 on your paper. After the number 3, we draw the number 4. And the last number is the number 5. We're going to represent our numbers today with their values down along the bottom. So below the number 1, can you draw 1 dot? You could also draw a heart or a square, a triangle, a smiley face, whatever you want to represent the value of each number with. Let's draw 2. I'm going to draw 2 smiley faces this time to represent our number 2. Now we want to draw 3 of something. I'm going to draw 3 hearts to represent the number 3. Now we want to draw 4 of something. I'm going to draw 4 squares to represent the number 4. And lastly, we're going to draw 5. I'm going to draw 5 triangles to represent the number 5. Nice job. We've now put our numbers in order from 1 through 5 and shown their values along the bottom. Good work. Thank you so much for learning with me today as we talked about our numbers 1 through 5. Can you count to 5 with me one more time? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Nice job. You did such a good job ordering the numbers 1 through 5. When we order our numbers, we put them from small to big or least to greatest, and we put them in order of their value. Thank you so much for coming and learning with me today. My name is Mrs. Overish, and I'll see you next time.
Thank you, Mrs. Overish and Miss Bird, for those wonderful lessons today. Parents, today we started learning about important African Americans who contributed to our society. We learned about Garrett Morgan, the inventor of the stoplight, and Miss Bird helped us make a craft for an edible stoplight. To do this craft at home, you'll need graham crackers, peanut butter, and red, yellow, and green M&Ms. If you have a peanut allergy or if your scholar has a peanut allergy, you can use whatever butter you'd like. We just use peanut butter for our purposes here. Once you have those materials, start by putting some of your peanut butter on top of the graham cracker. And then order your M&Ms in the same way that a stoplight shows colors. Red, then yellow, then green. Today with Mrs. Overish, we ordered numbers from 1 to 5. We learned that 1 has the least value and 5 has the greatest value. And we learned to count from 1 to 5. In order to practice these skills at home with your scholars, you can count objects as you're making your stoplight. You can count objects as they're getting ready for bed. Just start with 1 and end with 5, and then try counting backwards. I hope you enjoyed our lessons today, and we'll see you tomorrow for more great learning.
My name is Courtney Hawkins. I'm a parent of 4 children that are going here, well, 3 that are going here currently, and then 1 that is now in middle school. But we've been with Holiday Montessori since my oldest was in preschool. And probably one of my favorite things about this school is just the family environment. I love coming in the school and hearing, you know, hi, Miss Hawkins. And then just the care of the teachers let you know that your children are well taken care of. And we've had some teachers, all of them have been really good teachers, and we've had some that have been really good at challenging and inspiring our kids. I had a teacher that noticed my daughter's advancements in reading, and she kind of pulled her aside and gave her additional work that kept her moving forward and kept her challenged.
Hello, my name is Sahara Hawkins and I am in the 8th grade. I am Harold Holiday alumni. I've gone here from the P4, which is a bit before kindergarten, all the way up to my 6th grade year. When I left Holiday Montessori, I felt really prepared to go to middle school because here at Holiday, I think their academics are very rigorous, and they prepare you for middle school because they give you due dates, they start giving you due dates and things like that. Assignments that are due weekly, which prepares you for middle school because there are assignments that are due weekly or daily. And then I just felt very prepared in general because they start doing less material and they start really just working on your communication within the middle school and how that transition is going to look like and what that transition is going to look like. So I just felt really prepared and like I was going to have a good transition in middle school.
We also have a teacher that my oldest son has right now that noticed some of his interest and encouraged him in that to do some research, thus combining the passion and the learning together. So we really are appreciating the teachers that our kids have had.
Hello, my name is Joshua and my grade is 5th.
My name is Micah and my grade is 1st. I like my teachers because they're nice.
I would say you should definitely join the Harold Holiday Montessori family because first, it's very opening and it's a welcoming environment. You have great teachers from all different backgrounds and they come in and they come to teach your child, but also just to help your child through life. They not only teach you like your ABCs and your 1, 2, 3s, but they teach you motor skills and life skills that from a very young age that you may not think that an elementary school would teach you. And overall, it's a very diverse school in general, and it's in a good neighborhood.
Overall, I would encourage anyone that's considering coming to Holiday to come and just join this family environment of hands-on learning. And they've got great before and after school program. The LINK program is awesome. A big part of what contributes to that family environment. And we have a forward thinking and moving principal that it's done a lot with the school, changes in the school that improve the morale of the students and the staff here. So it's just a great environment to be in, and I encourage you to come and join the family.
Thank you for visiting Holiday Montessori School. If you'd like more information about our fine Montessori program, please call 816-418-1950 and we'll schedule a one-on-one tour with you. We look forward to sharing with you more about the great things that are happening here at Harold Holiday Montessori School.
Hello, Kansas City. Welcome to another wonderful day out there. My name is Chris Odom. I am an excited host and creator of this little show called Life After. I got the wonderful chance to spend a lot of my years working in a particular school. And when we got in the midst of all this pandemic, we started looking for ways to interact and kind of contact people who were also not all at work. And so now that we're some of us back in work, we're keeping on with these interviews. And joining me today is a wonderful person that I knew from back there at Paseo Academy. And welcome to the show, Maisha Wright.
Hello, thank you for having me. I appreciate the invite.
Yeah.
Makes me feel special.
Very good. It's a neat kind of byproduct of the stage and getting a chance to do this. And I really do love that chance, is to give back the platform and to hear from the voices, and again, make you feel special. That's a bonus. So yes. Kansas City, you're in for a treat. Tell us, Maisha, when you came out of Paseo, what year, and what you really kind of still think about, or what your takeaways were from that experience.
Oh, I graduated from Paseo in 2004. It's hard to believe in 2 years that would be 20 years.
Woo, yeah.
I cannot believe it has been that long. And then it's funny because you mentioned my glasses. I get compliments on my glasses. I always make the joke, I turned 35 last year and it hit me like a ton of bricks, this being one of them. So I'm like, well, if I got to start wearing glasses, make them cute.
They're very cool. Yeah, I can see why you get compliments.
Yes.
So tell us what you remember that year like it was recent. I do too, which is so strange because it certainly wasn't. But the things we remember, seem so important to us, like that final year in high school. So what do you remember about that year? What did you do that year? Are there any takeaways that you still kind of value from that experience?
Yeah, I remember a lot from that year, just really being able to hang out and say goodbyes to friends. I do remember kind of filling out that FAFSA, trying to figure out where we're gonna go for college. We're all making our plans and who's gonna go to this college, who's gonna be roommates at this college. Finalizing kind of graduation, having that surreal moment, like, life happens after this point. And just really hence
the name of our show, right?
Yes, life happens. Is it really? Oh my God.
No, it's called Life After, but I would
Life After, yes.
There's a lot of life after, right? Like
yes,
somehow it starts turning up a notch, and all of a sudden there's a lot of life right after high school.
Yes, absolutely. And I couldn't remember if it was our last year of high school or was it the year before that I took the shot of running for student council president, ended up being the student council president for the school that year.
Wow. And so that stayed with you.
Yeah. And just honing in on those leadership roles and how they kind of carried me forward through life. Yeah.
Even today. Well, that's what we keep exploring, and what some of our people we've been talking to kind of call like TV gold, is that it really is powerful to hear the value later on of some of the things we might not have thought were so important or impactful. And they kind of echo in our lives and have, significance. So it's so fun to trace that. So let's go back there. Right after Paseo, 2004, coming out into Kansas City. What's your next move?
So my next move, I, of course, was in creative writing with your class.
Yeah.
And I had a passion for journalism at the time. So I was supposed to go to MU for college. And I went to UMKC instead because UMKC gave me scholarships. And so I was able to do 2 years at UMKC, plus stay in the dorm essentially for free. And so I was like, I can't pass that deal up. Sorry, MU. Sorry, friends. I'm not going with you. I'm going to UMKC. I'm staying here in Kansas City. And that's what I did. And I took advantage of every opportunity at UMKC to learn and grow and do more and essentially see a new side of Kansas City. Where I grew up, Kansas City has always been, as they call the east of Kansas City, east side of Truce. And so that was really a culture shock for me, going into UMKC, coming from Paseo, coming from where I was funding my community. And it was great. I love the experience. I had a awesome time, met, whole new class, world, plethora of friends, and just kind of grew from there and stayed in Kansas City, learning everything that I've learned and just essentially made Kansas City my hometown, continue having it as my hometown, but still making connections outside of the city.
Very good. Yeah, this is a rich place for connections. We're also right in the middle of the entire country. So
correct.
We can go a lot of places from here. And so that's fantastic. I also found my way to UMKC and have 3 degrees from there and find it the great place, like that it really was home to me in the same way. I think it's so interesting you point out that Paseo and UMKC are just so near each other.
Right.
But the culture shock of coming just that far west in our own city existed pretty strongly for you. So
exactly. Yes.
Yeah.
Met a lot of different people.
It tells a lot about our very divided city, even in 2004 and even still in 2022. So
agreed.
Bring us up to a little bit after that. So UMKC journey, finished that journey there and then led to another journey, or what happened from UMKC?
Yeah, so going to UMKC, I did end up changing career focus. Not so much on the journalism path. I went on the marketing public relations path. While at UMKC, I did lead the communications club there for maybe 2 years. So that last final year there, went to, did a few internships with some local agencies. I had a chance to study abroad while I was there. And through that experience, I was able to backpack through Europe. We studied abroad in Spain while there. I ended up graduating UMKC in 2008 with a minor in Spanish, but I don't use it. I know Spanglish. I don't know full-on Spanish. Gotcha. And then after UMKC, I got my first job with in the marketing department with a pet food company that is here in Shawnee, Kansas, and still here till this day. And that was a different experience for me, another culture shock being there. It's so funny, I don't know if I should be telling the story, depending on the audience, but I remember when you have your first job, you have to get used to getting up on time and going to work. And I had an issue with focusing. So I had to start taking diet pills to get me to stay focused at work, because I couldn't, that was the adjustment. When you're college life, you're a little free, set your own schedule, but now it's like, it's work time. So 8 to 5, you're here and you focus on this so you can get, do well at this job. And then from there, I ended up going to Webster University to go and get a degree in marketing from there. And I'm trying to think, where did I go from there? Gosh, I feel like I did some nonprofit work in public relations. I did, at that point, I think it was when I had to find myself what my gifts were. And so I ended up in property management and real estate with a job, made some connections, again, here in Kansas City, with some international people that had properties throughout Kansas City, learned from them, got my license, became a broker, and now I'm here.
So when you say broker, explain that to maybe a young person, that you're a real estate broker. Is that the rest of the term? And then can you kind of define what that job is like? What does a real estate broker do?
Yeah, so as a real estate broker, we handle real estate transactions. So the buying and selling of property. I also have my own brokerage firm here in Kansas City. I actually co-partner with another person here that is actually originally from the Bronx, New York, is my partner. But she's had a brokerage here in Kansas City for the past 16 years. Partnered with her, took over the local branch here in Kansas City. And so we manage a team of about 15 agents who essentially are doing the work of the real estate team, which is the buying and selling of real estate properties throughout the metropolitan area.
Wow. So that sounds like a very good gig. Am I right?
Yes. It's intense, but it's good. Depends on how the market is doing.
Sounds like you're very involved and potentially a lucrative possibility and a very connected to your city possibility. And so, yeah, that's really neat. I think that's so cool how, staying here myself for so long, it does get deeper and richer. And I think our community is growing and expanding. And so you're kind of right in the middle of all that.
Absolutely. Yeah. And a lot of exciting things are happening with Kansas City, and a lot more to come kind of over the next really 5 to 10 years. I've always said, and I've said it since I got my license, that the Kansas City we're used to is not going to be the same Kansas City in the next 5 years. We're already seeing awesome, trends that are happening on the real estate side of things. I've seen properties when I first started that originally would go for like 10,000 are now worth 50, 60,000 that fast. And what I've been able to do is kind of capture that as a real estate broker, try to encourage other people to financially change their lives by investing in real estate, buying their first home, becoming an investor myself, and even a developer as well.
Yeah, so that is kind of separate of your work.
Yeah.
And so that's an intentional goal of yours also, is to kind of teach people this process and financial stability goals and things of that nature?
Yeah, to be able to basically recognize real estate as an avenue to build generational wealth. And then the goal for me is to be one of the people that are instrumental in changing communities around us, which is real estate developers. As you mentioned, there's two separate worlds still on depending on East or West in Kansas City, and there's so much opportunity to do more in either of those worlds. But wanting to be kind of that connector that kind of helps divide or waver that line, so you really can't tell the difference. It's all one Kansas City.
Wow. Yeah, they tell you it's a rewarding career when you go into education, and I can't explain to you how rewarding it is to hear these stories and to know, not that I had anything to do with it, but that I was there long ago before you had found this path, and to hear you explain it and roll it out for this audience, it is thrilling. It's something to be so excited about, and I'm proud of you, I guess I would say that.
Thank you.
So let me throw that at you. Not that it was in my class, but it was maybe at Paseo. Do you feel like there were things that prepared you when you were at Paseo that, you could even cite some of those experiences that have kind of given you this feeling of leadership? You cited one about being part of student council, but what other kind of day-to-day experiences do you think translate even still today?
Yeah. Let me see. That was 20 years ago, but I remember some things. Definitely the writing component of it. Writing is very important. And then having to learn the kind of the language, the grammar, that kind of thing, developing that is important. So in the creative writing, telling stories. I remember in your class, we always had to learn how to tell a story. And you'll be surprised, even with how things are transforming on social media online, everybody's telling a story. And that's part of sales, that's a part of negotiations, tell the story. And so that's always something I've took with me. I do remember, I can't remember his name. I just remember it start with a K, but an economics teacher that I had. And he introduced us to Department of Labor Statistics and then stocks. I always thought that was interesting. I kind of wished I would have focused more on that path and learning that. But I did take that with me. Yeah.
I know it. Was it Kit Cubis?
Yes, I think that is his name. Yes.
Mr. Cubis. I remember those assignments, and I remember that was a neat part about his class. I know Monaco did some things with that too.
Yeah.
You probably had him also, right?
I did have him. I did have Coach Monaco.
Well, he's still there. And
is he really? Oh my gosh.
Shout out to probably the longest standing teacher at Paseo right
now.
Charlie Monaco, who I've shouted out on this show a number of times, but
awesome.
He's an impactful guy and he's still there. Okay, well, you have definitely let us in on a really cool story and a really neat narrative of how you've found your path. The final question is kind of shedding some light on what you told yourself, what words of wisdom, what things you heard from people back then that have served you. And, I know young people, you're hearing from a really good example of someone who followed their goal, listened to their passion, and found a way to keep growing, I think. And even, sounds like you're going to continue to aspire to even more in this career. So what exactly was being told to you, or were you telling yourself, that has been powerful throughout all these different challenges, I assume, to get to where we are now?
Yes. Oh man. It's a lot. And it changes through the different stages and variations or milestones that you are in life. But the biggest one is diligence. I've always been a hard worker. I recognize that even from high school. So diligence is important. Your environment is one. I think you can't really progress until you change your environment. So and even till this day that I kind of be mindful of is pay attention to who you hang around, pay attention to who your influences are. I think we were told in a remember class we took, pay attention to the top 5 people you talk to every day. And that will tell you where you're gonna go going forward. Then what else I learned? Oh, another one I learned, this is in business, the squeaky wheel gets the oil. So if you got to make some noise to get what you need and what you want, be an advocate. I took that as be an advocate for yourself.
Yeah. It keeps squeaking until it gets the oil.
Exactly.
Right.
So if you want to get what you need, you gotta make some noise. Stir some things up.
Yeah.
Oh man, what else? I think that's but the diligence and persistence, believing in yourself, always believing in yourself to do what you can do. And another one, get out of your comfort zone. That was a big one for me. That is still a big one for me. Because I know I had some very shyness issues in high school, and I'm still coming out of that more and more, and getting it. But I was always told to just get out of your comfort zone and be comfortable with being uncomfortable.
Gotcha. Those are all fantastic. And what makes them even more fantastic is they're so real to you, and I can hear the way you're explaining them that you really do live by them. So
yes.
That's why I asked. So young people, those are fun things to develop. You know, I used to have a thing behind my desk that said the secret to success is constancy to purpose. Like, you're not going to all of a sudden get there one day, or you might because of how many days you were working before you were here. But, you know, you got to keep going at whatever it is that you are pursuing. You don't just get to do it once, right? Or dabble. You're going to have to really dig in. So
yeah,
that is fantastic advice and fantastic story. And if you are listening today and you like these stories, we want to thank most our guests. Thank you so much to Maisha Wright, and also to Kansas City for tuning in and giving us an ear. Also, help us circulate these stories. If you know people that you think would see Maisha as a great example, or at least a catalyst to thinking about their own career path. Another reason that we kind of built this episode and started talking about this show is that young people are constantly looking for other examples. And often we don't necessarily hear about them all when we're in a class or in school, you know, and that's why the show Life After, suddenly all of them become possibilities or things that we didn't even know we could do. So as you're watching young people, this sounds like a powerful and interesting career. It sounds like you get to use a lot of your skills that you learned growing up in school. Yes. And it sounds like you could do okay in this path as well, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Live a pretty good lifestyle as a real estate broker. So let's leave it at this. Maisha, finish us out. One thing you want to say to Kansas City, because I get to talk to Kansas City every day and tell this place and this background here how much I love this city and how much I love being a part of it. But what would you tell your city, since you've been here so long too, if they were out there listening, and I know they are?
Oh man, go Chiefs.
Yeah. That's fair. That's fair. I debated this.
Yeah, or you got one?
Well, but I was like, this
there
is
you go. That's red. Like that'll work.
Lumberjack me, but you get the point. I got my red everywhere right now.
Yes. No, I think just Kansas City, let's keep evolving. Let's keep growing. I mean, there's exciting things happening. So, and everyone is welcome. Everyone should be inspired to do whatever they want right here in this city. You shouldn't have to leave.
Speaking of which, did you hear Kansas City is fully accredited as a school?
I know, I heard that, and that is awesome news. Congratulations to everybody that was involved in that. A lot of hard work and effort in that, and to do it with the pandemic, that's even better. You know, that's even better.
It means an awful lot. So respect to all those who've been part of that process, and the students, the teachers, everyone involved. So
absolutely.
Thank you, Maisha, for being on this show today. Thank you, Kansas City. We're signing off. Everybody have a wonderful day.
Bye.
We're happy to have you visit our family here at Northeast Middle School. My name is Principal Schriever, and I am the principal here at Northeast Middle School. We serve students in the 7th and 8th grade in the historic Northeast neighborhood in Kansas City.
Welcome to Northeast Middle, the home of the mighty Titans.
Welcome to Northeast Middle. Transitioning to middle school is exciting, but it can also be scary. But that's what we're here for. I teach student success skills, a class where students get in touch with their emotions and learn how to stay on task in their courses.
Hello, my name is Mirna Naya. I am the parent liaison at Northeast Middle School. I communicate with parents, legal guardians regarding school information, events, school advisory committee, and more. I love interacting with students' families every day.
Hello and welcome. My name is Christine Dismay, and I teach geography and economics here at Northeast Middle School. We have a safe and nurturing environment in our classrooms. Your student will enjoy learning here.
Hi, I'm Laura Culp. I'm an 8th grade math teacher. Welcome to 8th grade. We offer advanced courses in all core subjects. Learning here is fun and rigorous because we care about our students and their academic experience. Northeast Middle School students are successful and prepared for high school.
AVID, which stands for Advancement via Individual Determination, is a college and career readiness program. Students develop the skills they need to be successful in college starting in middle school. Most students continue their AVID course throughout high school with the same group of peers.
Hi, I'm Mr. Fleming, and I teach PE and health at Northeast Middle School, and we have a wide range of electives including choir, band, orchestra, visual arts, creative writing, and much more.
Hello, my name is Kenneth Moore, and I teach 7th, 8th grade choir. Our goal is to ensure our students get the very best academic opportunities. Our students maintain a well-rounded experience.
Northeast Middle School is truly a diverse environment. We have scholars from all over the world, and we have as many as 30 languages spoken in our building at any given time. To celebrate the diversity in our building, we host an international festival so our scholars can get a true taste of the world.
Hi, I'm Ben Jonte. I'm the art teacher at Northeast Middle School. Project Lead the Way, one of our electives, provides our students with hands-on, real-world learning. This will give them experience in growing industries like computer science, design, and robotics.
Hello, I'm Ms. Shepard, and I'm the athletic director here at Northeast Middle School. Here at Northeast Middle School, we offer a variety of sports for boys and girls, including basketball, track and field, soccer, wrestling, swimming, cross country, flag football, cheerleading, and volleyball.
Thank you for taking the time to visit with us today here at Northeast Middle School. To learn more about our campus or to request a personal tour, please call 816-418-3400. We look forward to sharing with you more of the exciting things occurring at Northeast Middle School.
I am
am Lincoln Middle.
At Lincoln Middle School, students discover their talents and passions, where teachers plant the seeds of lifelong learning.
I am Lincoln Middle.
Where excellence is nurtured. Students develop the skills to be successful in school, career, and beyond.
Je suis Lincoln Middle.
Lincoln Middle is the public school where your child will thrive and grow. Open a world of possibilities. Apply today. Learn more at enrollkc.org/Lincoln Middle.